Hey, how's it going? Josh here from Tech with Josh, and this is episode 30 of Tech with Josh, titled My Thoughts on the S26 Ultra. The S26 Ultra was just announced a few days ago, and it's their best flagship yet. But here's the thing. These are my thoughts on it, and you might not agree with them, but let's dive in. Will I be getting the phone? No. As you may know or may not know, I'm a foldable user for my Android, so I have the Z Fold 7, so candy bar is not really my thing unless it's something different. Like maybe the OnePlus 15, I was thinking about getting that to try it out. But the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is nothing special. And what do I mean? Hey, look, let's talk about the specs. It has the new Snapdragon Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy, so it's clocked higher than like the OnePlus that I just mentioned and any other phone that gets it because Snapdragon works with Samsung. They're one of the biggest Android makers, so they clock those processors a bit higher. It has the 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED with QHD resolution, same as last year, 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, and it has a built-in privacy screen. What is a privacy screen? Well, it's so when someone looks at your phone that's not supposed to look at your phone, aka if you're on the MTA subway and someone's sitting next to you and they try to look over, they can't really see it. Unless you're looking dead center on the phone, at the phone, you can see it, but if you're looking from the side, you move the phone a little bit, it blocks certain things out. And Samsung's built that into the screen, which is a cool feature, don't get me wrong. And it's not like they built it that you have to have it on 24/7. You could turn it on and off. You can have it open up with certain apps. Like if you go to your banking app, it'll automatically turn it on. You can have it only do your notification, things like that. It's amazing, you know? Me personally, on my iPhone, which is my main phone, my 17 Pro Max, I have a privacy screen protector. But here's the thing. That was $30. Samsung built in does compromise the screen a little bit. It doesn't get as bright as the S25 Ultra. It's not as clear as the S25 Ultra, even with it being off. So that's the thing. And not everybody's going to use it, honestly. So that's the big feature. Another thing is, instead of being an 8-bit screen, it's a 10-bit screen. So you can see more gradients in the sky because you have access to a bigger color palette. iPhones have had 10-bit. Samsung, this is their first Ultra phone with 10-bit, so that help you edit photos or videos on your phone and see more. And photos will pop more on your phone. And Samsung also changed the build quality. Still has the Gorilla Glass IP68, the S Pen without the Bluetooth, but they went to aluminum or aluminium, however you want to say it. They changed it just like Apple did for heat. So last year they had the steel construction on the sides and the frame. Now it's aluminum. And just like always, 256 gig base, 512, 1 terabyte. Bigger vapor chamber to try to cool down that processor. So what that means, in layman's term, your phone won't overheat as much as previous generations, like the S25, stuff like that. So if you're recording videos for a long time, you won't overheat, or you're gaming, you should have better sustained performances because of the vapor chamber and the aluminum frame. And here's the thing, cameras. Same cameras we've had for 4 or 5 years. You have the 200 megapixel main camera, 50 megapixel telephoto, 5x optical zoom, 50 megapixel ultra wide. You have the space zoom up to 100x. Gimmick, honestly, because they were faking the moon photos, and 12 megapixel front camera. Here's the thing with the cameras. Like I said, it's the same camera system, except they slightly lowered down the aperture, which can let in more light for low light photography. And they also gave you a bit more color science. So if you're shooting just point and shoot, it might work a little bit better than last year. But if you're shooting it raw, you do get a little bit more light, but you're still going to edit the photo, so it really won't affect you that much. And another thing with the camera system is the new horizon lock. What is that? So if you're going on YouTube and you look at shorts, It's when you take a video and you can lock the top of the video for the frame. Let's say you're doing a TikTok dance and someone's holding the phone. They can lock the horizon, the space above you, and in case their hand moves or anything or rotate the phone, for some reason, you're going to rotate the phone. The video won't rotate and still have you in frame. You don't get the full 8K recording, stuff like that, because you're using more of the sensor. Because it has a gigantic sensor at the 200 megapixels, it can crop it to a certain point so that if the phone rotates 180, 270 degrees, it won't move. So that's what's happening, and this is something that's been on phones before. Of course, you have Android 16 right now, and One UI 8.5, which gives you more AI stuff. It's the world of AI. And now, instead of having Gemini with the Samsung Galaxy AI, you get Claude. So take that for what it's worth. And the other thing is, with the new features, you get certain tasks that can be done. It's not fully live yet because the phone's not really out. What do I mean by that? You can go in and say, hey, I'm going to be late for a meeting. Can you book me an Uber? And I actually process the Uber for you and you just confirm. Because they know where the meeting is, where you're located. You're telling it you'll be late, and it knows to get your Uber. And they say, hey, the Uber is $27. Do you want to confirm? Yes, and then you get Uber to your place. Stuff like that. Simple tasks, which Apple's AI was supposed to do, and we haven't got yet either. With the charging, we are getting enhanced charging for the first time in years. We're going up to 60 watts USB-C, through USB-C, from the typical 45 watts. And it has the dumbest name in the world, but it's 60 watts charging on the S26 Ultra model. And the wireless charging is up to 25 watts now. So you might think it's Q2.2 or Key 2.2. But here's the thing. No, because they didn't put the magnets on the back of the phone. This is what got me upset on this phone. Because the Key 2 magnets that the Pixel has, that the iPhone always has, no, we didn't do it. Why? Samsung goes, because 98% of our consumers use a case. That doesn't matter if they use a case or not. Put the magnets in the phone. So now, if someone buys the phone and they have Key 2, like I have these Charge Ice Mag power banks. If I want to use the wireless charging function, guess what? I have to buy a case. Which is dumb when other manufacturers have it built in. And the case manufacturers add it too to make the magnet stronger. But Samsung, no, you have to have a case. A lot of people that I know have a phone caseless. They use like a D-brand skin, stuff like that, or they just like the feel of the phone. I have a case, so it doesn't matter to me. But just give people the option. Don't take options away. Like I have a external SSD that has a magnet mount on it, a MagSafe mount. So things like that. If I got this phone, I would have to invest in a case, even if I want to use it as a camera, because of Samsung. But all in all, it's an okay phone. Don't get me wrong. If you're in America, it's one of the best Android phones you can buy in America. I say that because you have the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. You have the OnePlus 15, which is a great phone, but the camera's not that great. You have the Honor Magic, the new phone just got announced and released. There are better phones outside of America, but here's the thing. In America, you get a Samsung phone, you get a problem, there's a Samsung store. I know for me, I'm in New York City, so we have one. Or Best Buy sometimes has partnership with Samsung, so you can get great support and you can get a replacement in the area, or you go to your carrier, you get the insurance. If you buy a phone overseas, you won't have that. So for those people, this is a great phone. But here's the thing. If you have last year's S25 Ultra or the year before S24 Ultra, this phone isn't for you. It doesn't bring that much to the table to make you want to spend over $1,000 for it. There are phones that are basically the same phone. Like I bought the 17 Pro Max. I had 16 Pro Max. If you were an average consumer and you asked me, hey, I have the 16 Pro Max, should I get the 17 Pro Max? No. It has the newer design, yes, it has the vapor chamber, stuff like that. But for the average person, that's not enough to warrant the change. And that's how I feel about the S26 Ultra. It's an okay phone. If you live in America, you don't want to import phones, deal with ROMs, band issues. It's an okay phone. Get it. But not if you have a modern Samsung from the past 2 years. If you have an S22, S23, they're free, especially the S22 with the curved screen. I hate curved screens on phones. But that's basically it for this episode of Tech with Josh. These were my honest opinions on the S26 Ultra. And if you want to listen to my voice more, take a listen to the Books by Josh audio immersion and also Manga with Josh. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.